You ladies first, I guess. Oh, you know.
No, so you
Oh,
chose.
okay.
You men
Uh,
can go first.
I'm trying to be chivalrous, okay? I was
Uh-huh.
suburban raised. Well, I'm Charles Kyle, aka Charlie B, stand-up comedian by I don't want to say by day, but by let's call it trade. Um, but yeah, I'm here today. We're talking about fantasies.
And I am Mo Rose, but you can call me Mo. And we are definitely getting into these fantasies. What's yours?
It's fantasy day. I mean, to wake up with no responsibilities, first of all. Um, Financial obligations, stuff like that. Knowing my kids are good. I can wake up making whatever breakfast I want. No consequences. Health or financial. You know what I'm saying? So if I want to make everybody a stack of 5 pancakes, the sweetest syrup, all of that stuff, I can make that. Um, you know, being somewhere, I'll say physically being somewhere warm. You picture the island, something
That
like
part.
that. Yes. Mentally I'm somewhere stable, somewhere healthy, enjoying life. Like I can look forward to tomorrow without worry. I can look forward to their future without worry. That's probably the fantasy
Yeah.
day. As far as activities, I couldn't name one because if I'm already in that type of environment, if I'm already feeling that good, like the world is my oyster. Like it's whatever we want to do. We want to go race go karts. We're gonna go race go karts. If we want to go to a ball game, we're gonna go to a ball game. We want to go shopping, we're gonna go shopping. Whatever it is that's going to have everybody come back at the end of the day, smile on their face, love in their heart. That's the perfect day.
I think mine would be because I am an island girl without being born on the island. Um, Mine would be something like that, just a day of starting out like at 6 a.m. soon as the sun sets with um that special person on the water, just watching the sunrise early morning, maybe an early morning breakfast with just light, like fruit and just enjoying that together. And then spending the whole day just by the water, having my favorite, whether they be a virgin or not a virgin, but my favorite sweet drinks that I like pina
Right.
coladas, daiquiris, margaritas, stuff like that. And oh, I'm a foodie, so just all the exotic foods that I've always wanted to try but never have. To have that chef right there to just give me whatever I want. I think that's my perfect fantasy day. Just to end with the sunset. Yeah, by the water somewhere on a
No
beautiful island.
strippers and shirtless chefs.
Not this time. Because I'm with my special person.
Imagine. Is there anywhere in particular that y'all would go if no if budget wasn't a thing?
Yes. Athens, Greece. Since the fourth grade, we had a book. I don't know, it was History of Government. But I remember I sat at my desk and you turn the page and they had the picture of Greece and all they had was these beautiful white sands. And since the fourth grade, I've always wanted to see those white sands in Greece. So that is something that has been on my life list since way back then. So yeah, Greece.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. That's deep. No, it's deeper than you think. That's why I said because a lot of people wouldn't always go Mediterranean.
Oh, I love their
You know.
food.
Oh, definitely,
Mm,
definitely. Yeah, you can't beat that. That's the combination of scenery and food. So
yeah.
yeah, all the weight I lost, I gained right back. I ain't got
But
keep.
you know what? You wouldn't. You wouldn't because they eat so healthy and clean.
That's true too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Island is good, but if it's another choice, something I haven't done since I was a kid, was skiing. So like I don't even have to leave the continental states for that. Take me to
Mm.
Aspen, Colorado. Um, I mean the winter scenery is just beautiful as it is, but there's nothing like being up in the mountains, being on this is gonna sound strange, but I'm gonna say it because I don't mean it in that way. But being on that powder, I mean the snow, not being on that powder, the powdery snow, being on the slopes. Um, I mean, nowadays, you can throw some, AirPods in there or whatever, but when it's just you, the mountain, your music, your thoughts, it's just like you don't you don't think about, am I gonna fall? Am I gonna hit this patch of ice? Anything like that. You're just free flowing and you're just going down this mountain and it's just you and your thoughts. And you shoot you in the day in a, you know, heated tub that's right outside you got your A-frame chalet, just you
Never
you
been.
you got, your environment, fireplace inside, especially like you said with that special someone. Let me tell you something. That warm fireplace
Yeah,
and
I
it's
like being
snowing outside and you just came in from the heated tub.
all right.
You
Getting
somebody gonna be in the hospital in 9 months talking about some push. Okay, that's all I can say. But
all
that's a
the time.
lovely environment. That's probably my second choice. So
Okay.
yeah,
And a cold.
in the cold.
But I love the way being born in Pennsylvania. That's all we see is snow, and I do think I still get that cuddly, wanna, because this is what you're used to up there.
Mm,
But I don't like it for real. But I did ski as a kid, but it was down some. We was out at a cabin in some wood forest place somewhere in PA. It wasn't no Aspen Mountains.
okay.
It was just some slopey hills, and it was
Hey,
fun.
those count too.
It was fun. Okay, let me ask you this because y'all know I goes deep into stuff. So,
Okay.
is this man a first date? Is this a man I've been seeing? Like, what kind of date?
Categories to the dates.
It
Um,
is because your treatment is
yeah.
based on who you are. My
So
wife.
if you could give me a little bit of what you would do for the first timer, and then one time for the lover.
Okay. For a first time date, I think the all time date. First of all, I need to know what he likes. I'm not gonna try to love somebody the way I want to be loved because that's not fair. So I would want to know what he likes, what he's into, and once I find out, say if he's into a lot of, I don't know, give me some type of cuisine that maybe he's into Italian. I don't know. I would find something other than the Olive Garden, but I want to find some authentic Italian food. I would ask around and try to find out where that is at. I would set up a nice intimate place there, possibly get a little quaint area where we kind of by ourselves, have low lights, and just kind of use that conversation time to get to know him, and also order whatever type of wine. I already have that at the table if he drinks. Um, and kind of find out what his little favorite small thing is, maybe a favorite flavor, a favorite candy, or something simple, and have a little gift bag just sitting there waiting, thoughtful for him. That's the first time date. And I would pay for it. I've done it on that actually the last two serious dates that I went on, I paid for them.
Did you notice all the reactions of the men in the room when you said that I paid for
Mhm.
it? And it's funny because everything you said was sounded sweet. It sounded so thoughtful. But you like, I will pay for it. I think that was the biggest thing.
That's
Like,
it off.
wow, okay, you
Yeah,
got me.
yeah.
Yeah.
They say whoever's the one that takes you out should be the one to pay. That I've just heard that. Look, you see, I'm throwing up my hands. I just heard that. That's whoever's the
Well,
one that
I've
initiates the
never
date.
had a problem with Dutch, even if it was a first date. I've never had a problem with paying. So the last two serious dates that I went on, I paid for it. We never went out on another date again. But and it was, and
No.
I don't know, they just got weird. So I don't know if it was because they were like, "I'll pay for it." I said, "No, I got it." And they kept saying, "No," I said, "I have it." So I don't know if it was an ego thing, like. Some men just don't like that. Like, oh, you trying to show me off, or oh, okay, okay, you got masculine energy. And it wasn't about that. It
Mm.
was, I understand y'all always pay, and I'm the woman who does not have a problem if I have it, I'm paying. That's just what it is. So I don't know. But yeah, that's what I would do.
Interesting.
That's most style.
That's yeah, and that's good. I think that it's also important to get to know the person that you're taking out. Um, like you said, I can't. I can't love you the way I want to be loved because we have different love
Yeah,
languages. We
absolutely.
love on different levels. Um, I might I
Definitely.
might like fun stuff, and I might think that that's different to you,
Right, right,
but you
right,
might be
right.
like,
That's
"Well, you
weird.
said you want to take me to do what? Like,
Right, right.
you show up in a nice, I'm not gonna say gown, but I'm gonna say like a nice casual dress or something
Hmm.
like that. And I'll show up in, jeans and stuff, and I'm like, so we just gonna make this little casual thing. Like that doesn't work. So I get that. I understand it. Yeah,
Hmm.
you definitely want to get to know your date.
Hmm.
But yeah, I guess a nice date would be, I guess, here's what I'm gonna say. Traditionally, we always think dinner and a movie, especially when it comes to first date. Let's just dinner and a movie. The only problem is with a movie, you can't talk. How can you get to know each other in an environment you can't talk? So now,
It's true.
we might have dinner, but even if you have dinner first and you get to know the person a little bit, now for the next 2 hours, we can't talk.
Hmm.
Or if you go to the movie first, for the first 2 hours of the date, now we can't talk.
Hmm.
And then
That's
we got
true.
to
I never
have
thought
dinner,
about
and it's
that.
like,
That's true.
so everything just, when trying to get to know somebody. But there's a lot of different things. There's stuff out there, and I learned this from an early age, and I wish I would have done this more.
Hmm.
Um, some of the best advice my father gave me, go somewhere quiet, but where you can talk.
Hmm.
Um,
So you taking her to the library?
I not quite, but I will say a museum.
Oh yeah,
A
yeah.
museum is a great date.
That's true.
Um, Especially if they do at least have an eatery.
Hmm.
But like a museum date is
I've never been on one like that.
you can show appreciation for, especially if you have an appreciation for art of any kind,
Yes.
art, life. You do get to talk to each other.
Hmm.
You do get those breaks. First date, or even if you don't want to call it a date, if you just want to call it getting to know each other, what
Hanging
happened to
out.
taking somebody out for a cup of coffee?
Tea for me.
Tea, what you know what
Right.
I'm saying. But yeah, like a little bistro, something like that,
Yeah.
a cafe. Um, Shoot, my sister, like, I call her my sister. We served together in the military, so there's that bond. Um, she was interested in this guy, and they agreed to go to just a cafe, have coffee, and like, yeah, she calls me now. Just I can hear her grinning in her text messages
Hmm.
now. I'm like,
Hmm.
oh,
Hmm.
that coffee worked, huh?
Hmm.
Because you just had a chance to get to know the
Right.
person.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, as a lover, oh, that's you gotta pull out the stops. You gotta pull out all the stops.
Well, mm,
I think once you've gotten to know that person, a date becomes a day or a weekend. Um,
yes, I like
you want to
weekends.
do activities that you both enjoy.
Hmm.
Um, for me, I like a lady who's a lady, but you gotta have a little bit of an SG, a little bit of a tomboy.
Hmm.
Um, you know, I'm still very much juvenile at heart. Y'all gotta understand this about me, okay? I can do the fancy dinners. I can get in the 3-piece suit. We can go to Ruth Chris, whatever, however, you know what I'm saying. But like, you want to, you know what I'm saying. You want to ride quads through the mud early in the day too. I could do that. You know, I've hung out with girls who like that stuff.
Hmm.
That's eventually where I go. Sports. I'm big on sports.
Hmm.
I think if you're big on something, I want to learn that about you. I want to know that about you because I'm gonna want to share that with you. I hope you're just as open.
Hmm.
I might want to take you to a game,
Hmm.
and it could be, football, basketball, baseball. I want to take you to a game, but at the same time, I want to do something that you enjoy just
Hmm.
as much, and I want to learn about that too. I think that's what makes you click. That's what makes you have those special dates that become a whole day,
Hmm.
that become a weekend
Hmm.
date.
Hmm.
Um, you know, in the right position. I'll say if I was in the right position,
Hmm.
I would tell a girl, "Yo, bring a bag."
Hmm.
It doesn't mean that
That's and that's that part.
we're gonna,
Like
be intimate. It
it's
just
that.
means bring a bag because we're gonna do
Right.
different stuff.
Just a different. Yeah. What happened to that? Because guys don't seem to date anymore, and I can't even blame it on age because there's older and there's some younger guys that is with all the stuff. You like the weekend dates, whatever. So I can't even blame it on that. I don't
Mm.
know, but it's weird. But that's true. Like what I just be like, what happened to that?
That's real. Yeah, I gotta ask that too, and I don't see it because I guess in my position as the guy, it's
Mm-hmm.
like you don't think about it because that's the stuff you already like to do.
Mm-hmm.
So when somebody is very much like, "Oh, what happened to that?" You're like, "We still do that." I don't know. I mean, I try to do that, but you
Right,
know.
right, right, right. I think for me, if it's somebody that I've been with for a while, we've been seeing each other for a while, um, a fantasy date, that's what the question was?
Mhm.
Okay. Um, would be again somewhere warm for me. Um, find out again, know what already knowing what he would like. I like the whole celebration because a lot of time men don't get celebrated. So I did something for my niece and her girlfriend about a couple weeks. It was after Christmas or the day of Christmas. So we made this trail of rose petals,
Ah,
a lane, for her to walk through, and we made it go up to the uh the bed. And so there were like balloons that just covered the top of the bed, like a red, a pink, a white, a red,
oh
pink,
wow.
a rows of it. And then we had them do a sip and paint, just an intimate sip and paint. So that's the type of thing like that I would do. I would have the jacuzzi tub already in the room, have, the bubbles in the tub, the
Right.
favorite wine or drink or whatever, the whole rose petal situation, definitely favorite colognes and, body
Hmm.
washes that, of course, obviously he liked, but definitely I'm going to like, because I'm a Scentsy
Right.
person. I feel like every man should smell like a cologne. She should smell good. Um, so I think for me that would definitely be it. And whatever he would like to, he likes to see me wear, then that's what it is, of course, with the stilettos and the rest y'all already, you know.
Right, right.
Oh yeah,
Facts.
that
Wow.
would be that date, and hopefully for the whole weekend.
That's not
Mhm.
supposed to be.
Yeah.
I guess, men is I don't think it's so much that we're not catered to. It's just you don't see it a lot. You
Mhm.
don't hear about it a lot.
It's true.
But it is, I almost say this, it is very much appreciated when you have somebody special in your life and she knows you, she knows things about you,
Hmm.
and it is willing to open herself up to cater to you like that.
Hmm.
Like, and don't get me wrong, as a man, you gotta get that back
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
But when she says, "Look, this is my treat for you,"
Because I appreciate
right?
what you're doing
Like,
for
I
me.
love you. I appreciate everything about you, who you are, what you do. Like I said, everything about you.
Hmm.
This is what I want to do for you. That's a 10 out of 10. Any man that doesn't appreciate that, something wrong with you, bro.
Well, it's a lot of something wrong with a lot of somebodies, but
a
go
lot
ahead.
of a lot of people, yeah, yeah.
Something you fantasized about that turned out completely different in reality. It don't have to be sexual. It can
Hmm.
be, but yeah, with anything that you like, I really want to do this, and you did it. It was like similar to kind of what you were saying, but like, yeah.
Something I did that basically didn't turn out what I thought it would. Get married. Get married. Yeah, that would be it.
You got to elaborate on that. You just say getting
I just,
married, getting
I just feel like okay, going into who I am. So born and raised in the Church of God in Christ, very straight. So, no fornication, no this and that for marriage. Then they want you to marry people in the church, but some of them are the worst kind. And so I just feel like, and this is my opinion, I'm all for love. I'm definitely all for black love. Please don't misunderstand. I love anybody know me know I am the helpless romantic. But in reality, I feel like a lot of people are so bent on being married for the wrong reasons, I feel. And I'm not saying people don't love each other. I feel like you have to know that your influence is more because you want to love and be with that person forever, more than a religious influence where you're made to feel like you're less than if you don't.
Mm,
I feel like it needs to be more of an experience that you want versus your mom and dad are married and been married for 40 years, but mom and dad never said how many affairs either one of them had either. Okay, in those 40 years. You need to understand why in the hell you're doing this. Are you doing it for you just want the big fantasy wedding for the girl because you've always been taught because we've been raised this is what you want.
that's
We
true.
were never raised like be independent, go make your money, go do what you need to do. Then when you find love, find love.
Right.
We're taught to depend on the men, but nobody ever told us that these men were going to be a different caliber.
Mm,
That some of these men were going to be coddled, and then so they're not going to be able to protect you, provide for you. You're on your own. So I feel like it needs to be something that she wants to do because it is going to make sense later, not because you want this big old wedding and this picket fence and these two dogs that you carrying in a purse because this is what you were taught that you
right.
needed to do and find that good man. Then when you find that good man, especially if you're in the church, whatever that good man dishes out, you take it. If he cheating, all girl, they gonna cheat. But why is there a double standard? Because if I cheat, then I'm a hoe. The church got me standing before them to apologize for being unquote unquote a hoe. You know, I'm just saying it's a lot. Like I said, anybody who read my book, y'all get where I'm coming from with the host. So I just feel like marriage.
Nah, that's deep. That's
And
deep.
so I yeah, and I've tried it twice. So at the end of the day, I feel like everything that people go into marriage for, their reasonings, you can do by going to a notary and having a lawyer and signing off that I want you on my insurance policy. I want to leave you the house. I want to leave you my car. I want to leave you my checking accounts. Whatever it is, you do not have to get married to do that.
Mm,
And that's all I'm saying. And a lot of people will be like, well, I just want to do it because it makes it honest. What's honest? Because if you're getting married in these relationships out of obligation, because you have a kid with somebody, or you're staying in it because you whatever reasons and they're not yours, yeah, it's
it's
just
already not.
it's
It's already
already
yeah. Wow. I can't top that.
not. No, and it ain't
No,
about
but I know that. I
just
know that. It's that's really. The reason I said I can't top that. I'm joking, but I probably never thought of it that way.
and a lot of people
You
don't.
know,
And I think I had to go through being drugged through the mud to help
I
write a
had to.
book to help people
Yeah,
say, dang, I didn't know that.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But I get it, and now that you said it, I almost want to say the same thing
Mm-hmm.
because and I can give it from my perspective is I'm gonna be I'm gonna be transparent. I was not a good husband. Um, I knew how to love, but I didn't know how to give that love.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know,
Explain
I
the
was
difference between that for me.
how to love specifically how to love this person,
Mm-hmm.
how to read this person,
Oh, God,
how
shoot. Yeah,
to
that's good.
lead
Mm-hmm.
this person,
Mm-hmm.
especially if they've been through trauma,
Mm-hmm.
untreated trauma.
Mm. Yeah,
You
that's a whole
it-
nother topic.
you giving your heart to this person. You want to give your heart to this person. But you have to understand, okay, if this person has trauma, still has trauma,
Yeah.
and hasn't dealt with it, at least through therapeutic means,
Mm-hmm.
hasn't really dealt with
Mm-hmm.
it. Um, you have to also understand how can I love this person through that, or can I even love this person through that?
Mm-hmm.
That's a big
Yeah,
thing.
it is.
And you can love that person dearly. Don't get me
Mm-hmm.
wrong, because I loved her dearly. But
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I knew how to love, but I didn't know how to love her.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, just I was unfaithful. You know, that was another thing. Because like you said, and it's very true. That's why once you started talking about it, I said, I'm gonna just say the same thing. Because we're taught as men, you know, you're taught, oh, you go out to get your wife, da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
But you're also taught, oh, you a man, you a man,
It's
you gonna
okay
do
to
what a
cheat.
man do. You
Mm-hmm.
should be all right. She'll get off. Ex-girlfriend of mine a long time ago. Long time ago. I called my dad. I was upset. I was like, hey man, she's really upset. I cheated on her, whatever, whatever. And my father, who I really look up to, mind you, man's been married, over 30 years now. It was to his second wife, my stepmother. Love her dearly too. Um, but his advice to me was she'll get over it. And that was shocking because, like I
Some
said, I
people
think the
don't.
world of my father. My father's a hell of a family leader, a hell of a provider. He gives that tough fatherly love, but he's got a tender side. He try not to show it, but he's got one. I know he does.
You know, old school.
Uh huh. But his advice to me was she'll get over it. And that stuck. So when I got into my next relationship, and I kept it clean for a good minute. But then, you know, um, what started it was, she started withholding it. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired.
That's a whole nother subject.
I'm tired. I got a headache. Look, I'll crush an aspirin and put it on it. You won't have no headache no more. But but that, when you start feeling a certain way, and then you like in the back of your mind, you hearing, she'll get over it. She'll get over it. You know what? All right, I'm gonna do me. And that's obviously the wrong choice. You know what I'm saying? I've had to atone for that. I've had to make amends for that. Because I can tell you what, the tables always turn.
Oh,
And
yeah.
when they
Y'all
do,
can't handle that.
ooh,
Y'all
no,
cannot
I
handle
went
it.
full on, and I'm not trying to bring the mood down. Man, I went full suicidal. I was I didn't
Yeah,
want I
y'all
didn't
can't
want to
handle
see
it.
another day on this earth.
Y'all can't
But
take that
I'm
type
glad
position.
I didn't. We've had a chance to, you know, patch things up, keep things, at a even friendly keel, and you have to be,
Yeah,
especially if, kids are in the
yeah.
picture and stuff like that. And my kids are old enough, I've had to talk to them.
Mhm.
And I give them that other advice now that
Mhm.
you were talking about. I'm trying to raise them, her and I are trying to raise them. Be independent. Don't
Mhm.
don't don't
Mhm.
depend on nobody. Have your
Mhm.
own. Appreciate somebody.
Absolutely.
But
Don't
if
make
you
them your whole
don't
world.
exactly, don't
Be
start relying and
balanced.
leaning, because once you do that,
Yeah,
you giving up everything you work for.
everything, and you lose yourself in the process.
Definitely.
What's a fantasy that you have yet to that's next on your bucket list? Let's rephrase that.
Not a bucket list.
Or
I call it a life list. And I say that and I change that and I've changed a lot of people's verbiage with that because who wants to get a diagnosis that you about to die in order to fulfill your thing? So your life list, the thing that you want to live your fullest in and do. So yeah, my life list. I think it's what I'm in the middle of doing now. But I would love to do it on a bigger scale, and that's my acting. Um, I don't know if y'all been following the series. Two up, two down, Virginia. We only have two episodes. Three is getting a little gritty, and so it should be dropping, I guess, this Friday. Um, I would like to do that on a more regular scale and continue writing and finishing my series that I already started, and we already did some filming, but I have to now find a new videographer for those films. Which Issa, I'm putting you out here now. Issa did say he would do it for me, so we just got to find our time in between doing his series that I'm a star in, which I play an Empress of Trap, um, and get my stuff done. So that's what that's my biggest fantasy is to just see my stuff on TV, like stuff that I wrote, um, plays because I've written plays, and yeah, and I would like to see my book, my life, actually played out like Fantasia did in a movie. I would like that to be a Netflix movie. That is really something on my life list because it's that good. My life is really a lifetime made for TV movie.
Okay. Okay. I guess I'm kind of along the same lines, coming from, uh, a recent, and I'm gonna say recent because it's only been since what 21. I really got from behind my phone, got on the stage, got behind the mic, and started doing my stand up. So of course, the goal in that is to be touring, is to be known better.
Yes.
Um, I'm gonna go as far as dreaming big. I
Yeah.
want to have a Netflix special.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. Part of that, I got to fulfill part of that this summer. I got to do a segment at the Funny Bone in Virginia Beach this year,
Mm-hmm.
or this past year, I should say.
Yeah.
Yes, that was big, and I thank you
Yeah.
for the shout out.
Yeah.
I actually listened to that right before I went on stage.
Type
Um,
things.
I will tell you, I was upstairs, you know, phones going off and stuff, and waiting to go my turn. So they were like, okay, you know, go line up in the hallway before you know, go on. You're right after this person. I said, okay, so I know I got at least 7 minutes. I went, I listened to that message, and I was like, yo, do not cry before you go on the stage. That was one of the sweetest messages. But you really shouted me out, you really bigged me up, and I appreciate that.
Yes, I'm
And
like,
that's what I
I'm
kept in my
winning.
mind. Yes. Yes. You and one thing about you is I'm gonna be honest. The people you love and care about in this world knows no boundaries. Like your love knows no boundaries for the people you care about. You
I'm gonna
will
get
shout
emotional
people out.
because,
You will definitely. I'm not trying to make you get
I
emotional, but
know
you will definitely shout people out. You will give people their flowers. You
I
make
do.
it a point and a purpose to make sure that they know
Mhm.
they are cared about and they're loved. And that I was like, yo, don't cry when I get on this stage because that was the sweetest message. But yeah, it really helped me when when I got up there and I was like, bet I could do this. So
Yeah,
now the
definitely.
goal is go big.
Go
Like
big
I'm
and go hard.
as Kevin Hart said, comedic rock star shit.
Yeah,
Like that's the
yeah,
level I
yeah.
aspire to go to.
And
I
you
know we're
going
working on
through.
the series, so
Mhm.
I'm trying to
Yes,
expand with the acting
yes,
too.
yes.
Um, that's definitely up there. Like I said, for those that don't know, I recently spent a week in the hospital, so finding out some things about my health. Like Mo said, I ain't gonna call it a bucket list, but now that I know certain things about my health,
Mhm.
I'm like, yo, it's time to live.
Yeah,
This point it's time to really
yeah.
go in. So not too old. Nah, I'm not.
Mm.
As a comedian, I'm gonna be honest, you're never too old. As long as you got
Jokes
life,
are
you
all
got jokes. Jokes will
medicine
come
for your soul.
definitely, easily. And the simplest thing probably that is on my fantasy list, the simplest thing. No, it's not a threesome. But the simplest thing, I don't know where it started, but recently I have got this crippling fear of heights.
Mm.
So they once said, I know Will Smith said it, but I think he got it from somewhere else. But everything you want is on the other side of fear. I feel like if I can go skydiving at least one time, just say I did it, get over it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'll conquer that fear of heights and anything else
Mm-hmm.
because I skydove. Like what can you tell me after that?
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, launching myself out of a plane
Mm-hmm.
at something thousands of feet in the air, and I'm here to tell you about it. Like at that point, what do I have to fear in everyday challenges?
I think what you think about you ain't drinking it.
No, I ain't drinking
So
it.
so let's cheers out.
Uh-oh.